foremost, just really excited to get the win tonight. Really proud of our team. Thought they did a great job, competing for the full 60 minutes, and that's part of football. And just, going back to earlier in the week, we talked to the guys about expecting this to be a really tough challenge. Coming in on a Friday night, blackout, and, a really good crowd, tough environment, but against a good football team, too. These guys, they've got a good team, and we witnessed that tonight. So happy that we could fight through some things. First half wasn't exactly by script, but the guys kept pushing, kept digging. They believed in each other, and sometimes you got to win games like this too. We had to work for it tonight, which is a real credit to Rutgers. They came out on fire basically offensively and pretty much just went up and down the field pretty much at ease against us. And then, obviously Weed sparked us with a kick return. He's just a pretty dynamic guy. Then first 3 and out, he had some opportunities, but came up short on that a little bit. But then we started getting a little traction too. So first half, I kind of flashed back to 1983. I remember going to Penn State, we won 42-38. And man, it was up and down. So luckily at halftime, things settled down a little bit. We started getting some traction defensively. Second half, much better. Getting off the field on third down, and that was certainly good. And then we were answering offensively, so that's the biggest part. But that was a tough, hard-fought game for sure. Both teams, and they've got some really good players over there and well coached. So, happy to get the win, and we'll go back and watch everybody work tomorrow. We're gonna put our feet up, hopefully, whenever we get back there. So hopefully get a chance to go from there. But a lot of positive efforts out there. Again, I think the way the team stuck with, believed in each other. The dialogue was good. Everybody was good at halftime. The coaches obviously did a good job making some adjustments and just kept moving forward. So saw a lot of growth, a lot of improvement. There's more out there to be had. That's probably our biggest challenge here. And so we talked to the guys about a 5-week block, and we're 4 points from away from being where we want to be. That's yesterday's news. So it's all about taking care of tomorrow to recover, and then hopefully have a great week of practice here. I'll throw it out for questions.
I noticed after that they scored 3 touchdowns in the first 3 drives. I noticed you went up to all the defensive positions. I don't know how often you do that, but what message did you feel like needed to be sent there to the defense?
Just to keep playing. It's a 60-minute game, and not that anybody wanted it to be the way it was, but we basically just couldn't get them off the rhythm. And there weren't many runs in there either. So it was, they clearly had a plan. And part of our plan, any defensive plan, anytime you play defense, you want to get the offense off schedule a little bit. We had no success with that. But also, it's a 60-minute game, and it's hard sometimes, and sometimes it just feels like it's coming downhill on you. But you just got to stay the course, work through it, and bank on the fact that it's not going to happen for 60 minutes. There's some point things got to come back to the mean, you hope. But the guys did, and I'm really proud of the way they competed, especially in that second half. And night and day, third down conversions, first half, second half. We did a good job on the penalties. Did a good job in the red zone. I think we had 4 touchdowns out of our 5 trips and a field goal. And then, probably the biggest thing is just, as much as they just, sticking with it and taking a play at a time.
How much are you seeing Mark continue his growth? And how much is his running ability impacting what you guys can do offensively?
Oh, it's helpful. It's helpful, and not all by design, but a guy that can break contain, which he does, and that's we've had that issue the other side where we've let guys break contain. That happened a couple times last week, a couple too many times. So that's a bad thing for a defense. So it puts stress on them, and then a guy that can break contain and keep looking to throw, which Mark does, is really good. We don't necessarily want to. I think we're in the teens here tonight. I don't think that's necessarily the plan. You do what you got to do to win games too. But it's one more thing for a defense to worry about. And I've said it before. We don't necessarily go out looking for a guy who can run, or we just want good quarterbacks. And Mark happens to have a skill set that's pretty versatile. And to your first point, is just I think you've seen him get more comfortable with each week. I think he's probably representing our team. I think he can play better. I still think he can, keep making strides. And I think a lot of areas of our team can get better too if we keep our focus where it needs to be, and that's the biggest trick.
What did you see from Kamari tonight?
Yeah, it looked like him. It was good to have him back. Great to have him back. Not good. And you always hate to lose any you don't want anybody not to be able to play. But, you know, Kamari's a really quality young guy, and he's done a great job since he's been here. Personality-wise, he hasn't changed at all, but he's a little bit more mature now and a more mature player. And so it's great to have that. His vision's really, you know, a little bit better probably than it was 2 years ago, and he's got a little more girth to him now, more mature. And so, you know, he's done a really good job. And I'd like to get all those guys healthy at once. That'd be really good, but hopefully Jazz isn't too bad, and you know, maybe we'll see what happens with Xavier next week. You know, not optimistic.
Last week it was your record we were talking about, and this week it's Mark's record that we get to talk about. What is it like seeing your quarterback be able to get 52 wins and have the title of winningest NCAA quarterback of all time?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I put some past. That's it, Kellen Winslow. And
Yeah.
the staff meeting, the guys are looking at me like, what are you talking about, Kellen Winslow?
Yeah.
Kellen Moore. I got it. So I think it's awesome. I didn't even thank you for bringing that up. I better find them on the plane. But in full disclosure, like tonight was more fun for me too than last week. With all due respect, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but conference games are always, you know, they're pretty important. So yeah, it's just that's who Mark is, in my opinion. Like he's a winner, you know, and that's where it all starts. And some guys are, and some aren't.
What did this game tell you about your team tonight?
It's I was gonna say, you know, affirmation, but that's probably not right. I just got done telling somebody, you know, I felt good about this team. I guess it was Pat Hager on the radio. I felt good about these guys since January, you know, and with each turn, each phase, they just keep working hard, and they work hard, and they try to do things the right way. So that part's good, but you know, I also said starting out, like I like our team, I know how good we are. I still don't. I don't like any of us do, but that's the fun part about this if you're doing it right. So, you know, tonight was a really good night for us in that you got to win games like this if you're going to have a good team. And we found a way. It wasn't easy, you know. And we found a way. Everybody stayed the course, coaches, players, and you know, paid off for us at the end. And you know, and we finally got our first turnover. Yes, I mentioned that, right? I mean, yeah, geez. Wow, rainmaker. So, but you know, it was a matter of time too. Hopefully, you know, but we got a little pressure on the guy, and you know, tipped the ball and all that stuff. That's usually a good thing for the defense. And great that Rexroth got it too. I mean, you know, it's awesome. So that's really good.